Okay, I'm a little late on the updates. I had a little bit of a problem. I was working on the roof and went to get down and the ladder slipped and I fell off the roof. I basically had 2 brain bleeds, broke a rib, fractured a vertebrae, bruised my kidney, spent 5 days in the hospital, and I had to wait until I got some clearances from the doctors before I could get back to work. All in all, I'm doing pretty good right now, and as you can see, I started working back on the car. I also got some parts in, so hopefully I'll be making some progress that I can post a little bit more frequently. So anyway, if you wondered why I hadn't been doing any posts or any updates, that's the reason why. I do not recommend falling off the roof and landing on your head. Not a good idea. So I've learned my lessons. I've been banned from all ladders. Well, maybe I can go up 2 steps, but that's about as far as I can go right now. So anyway, hope to get back at it soon and have more updates a little more frequently. During my recovery, I got a visit from Simple Man from the Lambo Clone forums. He's building a beautiful Mercy, and he stopped by for a few minutes to see what I was doing. I began working on the front hubs. This requires installing a 1-inch bolt through the bearing with washers on either side and a castle nut to hold it in place. I received a shipment of machine parts, and the water jet looks very good. The only problem was that none of the parts had been formed or had been bent to the specifications. So due to a mix-up in communications, I boxed them back up and sent them off to have the parts formed. I began working on the camber washers. I had the 1/2-inch threaded rod machined to be able to fit the camber washers that I'd received. Now, the way the camber washers work is you install one of the camber washers on the end of the machine threads, and then tighten the nut down, and then you weld the nut on the end. And these will be, when you actually put these into the brackets, then this will allow you for the adjustment on the suspension. Okay, got boxes of machine parts back, and for the most part looking pretty good, except we do have one little bit of an issue. These 32 pieces here are not the correct size. How that works is for these camber washers, these get welded on like that, and this camber washer this is supposed to go between those 2 ears. So the dilemma I've got, the solution I've got, is I'll cut these in half and then move these over to where I've got the right gap on them. One of the joys of building your own car is that you sometimes have to improvise a little bit, so that's what we're going to start with. I fabricated a little jig using 1.5-inch bars to get the correct spacing for the brackets that I had to cut in half. working on finishing up the suspension pieces. These are part of the upper control arms. And then these are the fabricated rear hubs. Now the Timken hubs that I got for the rear, actually I had to make a little adjustments on the mounting points. But this is making progress. So hopefully have more in the upcoming weeks. If you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate if you would, and turn on your post notifications, and so you'll get notified on my next update. Thank you, and hope you enjoyed this.